Hello there guys, good morning, good afternoon, welcome to another beautiful sunny day up here in Scotland. And today, look, I've got both my hands. Why is that? Because I've got my beautiful able assistant, my daughter Talia, who's holding the camera and doing some filming for me. So hey, we might get better views of some things today. Right, now from my previous videos, you saw that I had a wee hole in the front of the boat, a little pinprick that was just bubbling out. So I cut myself some patches and I was going to patch it, and I went, well, hold on, why? I can use them patches for something a bit more serious. So I've heard of this stuff. There's different variations of it out, something seal skin or something like that. But at my local chandler, I found this one, Sealflex. And what it is, I think it's just PVA glue watered down, and they charge you a fortune for it. But that's just my opinion. So the instructions that come with this, it's a 500 milliliter bottle. It's supposed to do a sib of, let me see, it doesn't actually say, but it's about 2.5 to 2.7 this year. Right, well, as you know, this is 335, so it's a bit bigger than the sib. However, I don't have a bow because it's a cat. So I think that'll compensate for it. So we're just going to go through using this and how to apply it, and I hope you enjoy watching it and hope you might learn from it, and we'll see if it actually works. Like I always say, learn from my mistakes and then you don't have to make the same ones yourself, because I'm new to this, as we always say. Right, so first off, the instructions say to take off the valve. I've already done these first two at the front. I've just got these two at the back to do, but I'm only going to film one. So we'll get that out of the way. Here's the valve. Now, one thing I will say to you guys, if you get one of these cats, right, before you do anything with it, get your valve key and check the tightness of the valves, because what I have found is when I first got it, I did have to tighten a few up. There was a few leaks. So they had 500 milliliter in the bottle, divided into 4, 125. Am I right, Tally?
I think so.
125 times 2,
120.
250,
Yeah.
250s, 500. So, hey, look at that, I can do math. I didn't think I could. So anyway, 125 mil in there. And what I've done, I've moved the little air, the wee filter in the bottom there to one side. And I'm going to pour that in. I did give the bottle a good shake before we started. I'll give that a wipe round there. Now, like I said, with these, I did find with this boat that the air was leaking a wee bit from the seals, and I think because it wasn't tightened up enough. And what they also do is the manufacturers put a wee bead of silicone around here, but it is wee, and it came off quite easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same myself. Right, I'm just going to put a wee, oh, get off there, you. That's gone on the boat, I'll get that off in a bit. A wee bead of silicone around here, not a lot, just to help create the seal. Yes, normally I'd rub it around my finger, but guess what, I hate having silicone on my hands. So a wee bead of silicone around there, and then fit it to the basket underneath. I hate getting sticky with silicone, but part and parcel. Right, so try and push the basket down onto the floor and basically screw your valve in. And as you're doing that, that silicone that you put on there will get evenly spread, won't it, throughout the joint. So that's as tight as I can get it by hand. I'll get my valve key. Make sure these valve keys are plastic, right? So make sure when you use them, push them down firmly. If you don't push it down firmly and it slips, like I say, it's plastic, it could break easy, and then you won't have one for the future. So always keep plenty of pressure on it when you tighten it up. Tighten it up. I would say, like I say, I'm no expert, I'd say possibly just over hand tight, I think, and that'd do it. And there we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause it. My daughter's definitely going to press pause, not stop. We're going to pause it for a second. I'm going to do this one here, and then we're going to fill it up and we're going to have a look at that leak that I found, and we'll see if it's worked on that, and we'll go through it a wee bit more. Okay guys, catch you in a wee while. Bye. Right guys, wee pause there. What I've done is I've inflated these chambers up and I've filled them up to the recommended 3.6 psi. These are what the instructions tell you to do. You fill it up to the recommended pressure, and then you shake the stuff all about. So we're just going to crack on. I've just left one chamber left to do. This is, I've done a video on this previously. Cheap Timo, less than a tenner. They say it takes a Makita battery, 18 volt. It doesn't. What you have to do, if I pull that down, is, if you have a look in here, is do a bit of cutting with a multi-tool, adapt, improvise and overcome, and then after you do that, it'll take the Makita 18 volt battery. But like I say, a tenner. Now, for pumping a boat up, you all know that it'll knacker you, especially if you've got a lot of chambers to do. This is a game changer. Like, look at this, right? That is totally empty, nothing in there. Watch this, guys. You can hear it just starting to struggle now. Close the valve. It's not strong enough to work with the valve closed. However, look how much that's inflated that. So then it's a case of just putting this pump on. This is a different pump to what you get with this sib. It's got a larger capacity. It's great for doing the sponsons. However, when it comes to doing the air deck, you do need a bit more pressure. Right, I wonder what's going on here. Let's see what happens here when I pump this up. There's something I'm not happy about there. Let's have a look. I think I know what it is. Right, so let's get this up to pressure. There we go. So I'm going to put all the caps on now, so it's not just crap hanging about. Right, I'm going to move this lot. You don't have to film me doing this. Just keep. This is a good girl, Natalia. Aren't you, darling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I've just cut the grass in the garden, so you don't have to film me doing this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this air deck. This has been up 3 days, absolutely solid as a rock. Pop that there. And I don't want to get grass stains all over the boat. So, like I said, I don't want to get grass stains all over the boat, so I'm just laying my trusted tarpaulin down. Get everything out of there. Now bar the air deck. See how easy this is to move. And now it's on there, what they advise you to do is shake this stuff about and get it all over the inside of the tubes. So that's exactly what we're going to do. also says if your boat's a bit heavy and you can't do this with it, put it in the back of your van and take it for a drive over a few bumps, or even put it in the water and get it thrown about on the water, either in the sea or a lake. If there's anything bumpy, but this is the recommended method. I don't think you have to be too gentle with it, because like I said, you're throwing it all over. You want to get it on every corner of these fences. Right, so what we'll do, turn it round. Right, if you want to come in here, Sally. Right, if you remember, that's the wee hole there that I found. So I'm going to concentrate a bit more. You don't want to sit there watching me throw this boat about for half an hour. We're a waste of time. I know I'm the most boring get in the world anyway. But I'm going to throw it about a bit more. Get this stuff evenly distributed throughout the pontoons. And then what we'll do is tomorrow we'll see how it's done and if it's held out. Now, to be honest with you, this although it had that wee leak, I filled it up and I left it for 2 days, and it still had enough pressure in it, I reckon, to take it out. I didn't test the pressure, but it was still quite strong, so it just shows just how a little leak doesn't affect it that much, but still it's better having it sorted, isn't it? So I'm going to leave it there for now. And oh yes, and another thing they recommend, because this is air activated, which leaves you even more to thinking it's just watered down PVA glue. Because it's air activated, they do recommend that over the course of a couple of days you inflate and deflate the boat, so you're getting the old air out. That air obviously would be the air that's got the moisture in it from the PVA glue, and put fresh air in, because like I say, they say it's air activated. So there you go, that is, just hold on there, Sally, keep running the board. That is, there you go, Sealflex sealant for inflatables, and apparently you can use it on the, is it Hypalon and PVC boats. And let's see how we get on. I'll report back to you and see if it's fixed the leak. So, catch you later guys. Thank you to Talia for filming. Love you all.